Okay, so the new way to sell more physical products with less effort in the next 30 days using something we've called Trojan selling. So what we're going to share in this video or this call is probably going to change how you sell forever, especially with physical products. And if you stay until the end, we're going to give you the exact system for free. There's going to be a calculator involved, which is all part of the whole selling system, because this is what it makes it all work, and you'll be able to see all the numbers. And plus, we're going to give you a way for us to help you implement this whole method in your physical products brand or business in the next 30 days. And honestly, we aren't trying to sell anything on this call. So this is not going to be like some webinar where we give you a lot of value and then we try and sell you something at the end. There's literally just pure value and we'll give you everything at the end, right? And the reason we're doing this is because we want to help businesses implement this so we can start gathering case studies on this method. I'll just be completely upfront and honest with you. Um, so here's what you will learn today. So we're going to show you how to get cold customers to convert without persuasion, discounts, or urgency. Why the easiest way to earn trust is one of the most is why the easiest, this is like my writing. Why the easiest way to earn trust is the one that most brands never even consider. How a simple shift in your customer journey can turn cold buyers into loyal brand advocates. These are people who will sell for you. And then, like I said, we'll give you a free implementation guide and a calculator to Trojan your brand. It's all going to be free at the end. So this new method doesn't rely on discounting products to increase sales or anything like that. Doesn't require any persuasion at all or any pushy sales tactics. So let's just do a bit of an intro, Peter. So I'm here with Peter now, and we've been working together now, well, I don't know how many years, 8 years or something,
Something like that.
in the physical product space. I mean, do you want to just give a bit of your backstory, and then I can give a tiny bit of mine, and then we can move on and show what our
Absolutely,
journey's been
Alex.
like.
Absolutely, Alex. I'll just tell you, when I was young, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. But I remember one time I was actually in a pub and I remember my phone bleeped and it was that PayPal notification, bing, you've got a sale, or you got funds rather. And I was like, I don't know. I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but all I know is I want more of that. And that is kind of what we've stumbled into over the past 8 years through many twists and turns. And I'm excited to work with you guys and introduce you into our world.
Awesome. Yeah. So I actually met Peter back in 2017, 2018, for a company we kind of both used to work with in different
Mm.
departments. Like I used to do a lot of email marketing for this company, and Peter used to do a lot of sound engineering. And then we kind of just joined forces, built a number of different e-commerce brands selling physical products, and we just kind of joined forces and been working together ever since. And this is a really high level overview of what our old way of selling used to look like. So we've tried many different things in our the times we've been working together. So we've done selling on Amazon, mainly private label products, which again works. We made some decent money off that. We've ran paid traffic to single page websites to specific products, which also worked. And we've done drop shipping, which maybe a lot of you watching this have done or tried. Um, and all this stuff works, right? But for us, the results were pretty unpredictable, which was the big thing of what led us to putting this call together as well. Um, and any of these methods, you're always working hard to sell, and customers are also working hard to believe in you and your products, right? And it always feels and felt like a fight, just trying to get a sale. So then something changed, and we had this massive aha moment. And it's probably just the accumulation of like 8 years of all this experience. And we recently, this is only in the last 6, 12 months, we launched a brand called Apex, and it was a brand new mountain bike eyewear brand. That's what it currently is. And this was our first product. It was a magnetic pair of mountain bike goggles. So the lenses on traditional mountain bike goggles, you would have to, you know, play around with all these tabs. It just took forever. It was a faff to change the lenses out. So we thought, well, how can we fix that? We have magnetic lenses, so you can change them in seconds, and it comes with a complete kit. So it was a premium package for a customer, which we're really stoked with. But the problem was people were already locked into buying goggles that were already leaders in the market. They were already loyal to brands they knew, right? And this goes the same for any different industry or niche when you're trying to sell a new product. Like why would people want to buy something new when something is already like why fix what's already working kind of thing, or what, like if it's not broken, why try and fix it? Um, and yeah, why change what's already working? So in our case, why would you change goggle brands if what somebody has is already amazing? How do you get somebody to switch over to your brand and try you out? So we had to prove to people why they should buy our goggles instead of what's already on offer. But for us, we were already on social media. We were already trying to shout louder, but we couldn't shout any louder, right? You can't. We were already amplifying what we have without paid advertising at this minute because we're only a small brand starting out. So we had to look for new ways in and new ways to amplify what we were doing. And then it was actually Peter that discovered something amazing that kind of sparked our interest, right? And it all it comes down to these two things: a bed mattress and a wooden horse.
What's the
Like,
connection like?
well, I'll explain in a second. Well, in fact, I'll lead it over to you, Peter, and you can talk a bit about Emma.
Absolutely. So, Alex, we were myself and my wife were looking to buy a new mattress, right? And for any of you that don't know me, I'm super passionate about buying stuff online. I don't know what it is. I just couldn't be bothered driving to the shop and looking around and potentially paying more, and then um going home and it may be right, it may not. Whereas I could just buy it online and have it delivered. And one of those things that if you were considering buying something online, a mattress company would not be the first, would it? You just wouldn't think of
No.
buying a mattress online really like, 'cause you're like, you like to lie in it, you like to test it out. You want to use it. You want to get a feel for it. But yet Emma, I noticed, had achieved over 1 billion in sales. And that got me thinking, right? Why is that? And it's something that I think it all comes down to this. Their promise to you is the 200 night mattress trial. If you look at that offer, you're like, wow, like I can try it out for 200 nights. And if I don't like it, I can just say goodbye. And if you as a customer think about that, you're like, ha, this company really believes in their products and it gives me such peace of mind. And that really got me thinking about Apex. That really got me thinking with Apex, right? Let's keep going there. Like, what happened to Emma? Yeah, 1 billion for the first time. That's just it's just crazy numbers for selling mattresses online. Like so, 100% they were tapping into something, right? And I connected that with what happened with Apex and what we were doing with Apex. So just fly ahead there, right? They gave people a low risk way to try the product, to use the product, right? Their low risk way was basically you pay for the product in full, it gets delivered, you try it out for 200 nights, but if on the 199th night you say, you know what, I don't want this, you send it back, you get your money back. Like I think that's really, really fair. But Alex, would you agree? I was like, can we do something like this with the goggles? And I came to you and I says, I think we need to do something like this. What were you thinking?
Yeah, you came to me and said, "How do we implement something like this in what we're doing with Apex?" But you notice there that Emma actually gave away. Sorry, you bought the mattress in full first,
Mm,
so there was still a bit of a risk for a customer. They still had to
yeah.
have quite an upfront think. So, I mean, we didn't want to do that. So we were wondering how we could do it something like a different way. But yeah, I mean, a mattress is a premium, it's like a big investment for
Expensive
people.
product.
And you don't want to mess about with buying the wrong mattress. Like if somebody doesn't have like some sort of guarantee with a mattress, I'd be pretty skeptical because if you bought one and then found after 30, 40 days that like you had back problems or you just couldn't get a good night's sleep and you couldn't send it back, like it would cost you because you had to buy another mattress and then you have to dispose of the old one.
Mm, mm.
Which brings us to this famous wooden horse. This is the Trojan horse, right? And this is quite interesting. This kind of explains the point quite well. So if you're not familiar with the Trojan horse story, I'm going to keep this really short, so don't worry. Um, for 10 years, the Greeks tried to break through Troy's wall and they failed. They were trying to infiltrate this castle, I believe, and they couldn't get in. They tried all sorts of things.
Mm.
They had the army, they had the strategy, the firepower, but the Trojans simply wouldn't open the gates. Like, they wouldn't let them in. Um, and this is kind of familiar for physical products brands, right? You've got a great product, but people aren't letting you in. They aren't willing to give you a shot. So instead of trying to force their way in or attacking again, they simply offered a gift, which was a massive wooden horse. Right?
So good.
A massive wooden horse, and they left it outside the gates. They stopped trying to break in and they gave something first, right? The Trojans welcomed the gift and they brought the horse inside their walls. There was no resistance, no skepticism, right? They just took it in. And once again, and once inside the horse, like this, everything changed. Now, this turns into obviously like a way that soldiers got into a castle and then probably took over the castle and killed loads of people. We're not trying to do that with our
No,
products.
we're trying to do good things here.
Yeah, we're trying to do good things with the Trojan horse, not bad things. But they didn't attack from the outside; they took over from within, right? So it wasn't deception; it was just pure strategy. It was trust first, and that kind of brings us on to this idea of Trojan selling, and it is the foundation of Trojan selling of what we put together.
Mm.
So you lead with trust, and you then offer value, or you offer value first. You get inside, and then you let the product do all the work. So there's no persuasiveness, there's no pushy sales, there's nothing like that. So this is the overview, the framework, basically how to convert more cold traffic into loyal customers and raving fans. And we've kind of just put this into three phases. So first phase, see it. Second phase, use it. Third phase, share it. So let's just jump into the first phase, and I'll hand this over to Peter because he is the mastermind who put this together. So that this is like a couple of bullet points on the first phase.
Absolutely, Alex. So I'm just loving the horse. It's just such a good analogy. So the very first phase is see it, right? So this is like awareness, getting your customers or potential customers aware of your product. So this is the moment they notice you and they choose to look closer, right? And your only job at this point is to be seen in a way that makes your brand, makes your company, your products stand out differently than all the rest. And remember, all the rest are there. They've got these huge barriers, and people are like, I want to believe these guys, but I'm not sure, can I? Whereas with us, they're thinking, hold on, these guys are a little bit different. They're trusting me. They're doing these different things. And that's getting me as a customer curious, right? And I'm not resistant. My guard is down. I'm like the people of Troy, the Trojans. I have that door kind of open. Would you agree, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So we just move
Um,
on. Right.
Say again.
I was just gonna say move to the next slide.
Yeah, yeah. So this is basically what happened when we started implementing this, right?
Mhm.
So this is our website. This is our checkout page for Apex goggles, and we invited customers to start seeing our product with minimal friction. So we added um, a like a trial, if you like, a £10 trial where customers could cover the shipping. Just literally, that was our cost of shipping and handling. And it's near enough.
Mhm.
It was basically £10 down today, and then the product would get shipped to the customer, and they had 30 days to just try the product out. Um, and only if they liked the product and wanted to keep it, did they pay the rest of the balance.
And I think it's worth adding there, Alex. Like this was something that a lot of people were very nervous about. They were kind of thinking, hold on, people are going to take the product. People are going to, you know, not pay. It's a very risky model. But you know what? It actually isn't. It's founded on reciprocity, and it's founded on trust first. That's the entire model, the way it works. So with those things in mind, we started this trial. We started this new way of inviting our customers in, and I think the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, so I'll show you some of the results now. So again, we took a risk on this,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it wasn't really a risk to us because we believe in this product so much. We were just like, how do we get this into more people's hands? Because we just believed in it so much. And that whole, saying to put your money where your mouth is, that's exactly what we did. And this is what happened. So these are not all the sales that Apex has made. This is some of the additional sales that came in through this trial purchase or these trial purchases. Um, and it was just amazing. because we were essentially saying, look, this is our product. We love it so much. We know you'll love it, but don't take our word for it. We'll send it you and try it out for yourself. Go riding with it, test it out. If you like it, pay the remaining balance in 30 days, no pressure. If you don't like it, send it back to us and you've literally lost nothing. Like, so you haven't risked anything, you've not wasted any of your time, any of your money, literally nothing.
And I
I
think
mean,
it's worth,
other than the shipping and handling that they've paid, which is
yeah.
a very, very tiny risk for someone to have a potential upside in a better product or a better experience with a goggle and better, especially in mountain biking, like clearer vision, wider vision, better riding, just more fun.
Absolutely, absolutely, Alex. No, it's 100%, and it's very much worth pointing out as well. Like the way it's positioned is that we are not giving the product away, right? In fact, many of the time the price actually increases, right? We should have
Mm.
had that at the beginning, like how to charge more for your product. What we're actually doing is we are asking the customer to cover the shipping and handling. So our gift, our first gift to the trial user or the customer is 30 days trial. Use the
Yeah.
product. That's a gift. And that always with human psychology brings it back to reciprocity. They want to give back.
Yep. And there is more to the system than just what we're just talking about now, which we're
Yeah.
going to explain in a second. So I'm just going to move on. Yeah. So we were just literally talking about putting our money where our mouth is. Literally, we knew we had a good product. We stopped trying to sell it and just let people try it. We knew our product was so good, we put our money where our mouth was. Um, this is what happened. More people started to say yes. More people kept the product after the 30-day trial period. And then more people started bragging about it, which is something that we'll get into in a sec. But I mean, tell us what happened after the 30 days. Like what were we thinking when we initially did this? What actually happened? Because I mean, I know some people will maybe watching this thinking, well, if I've got a product and I essentially give it away, like a risk-free trial, if you like, I mean, aren't those people just gonna steal it or take it or not pay it? I mean, are most people going to send the product
I
back? Like,
hear
what are people thinking?
I hear you, Alex. Well, I kind of touched on this just a minute ago. So basically, originally, because we were building this on the fly, like because we didn't really understand the system fully. We were just trusting our product. We were trusting our customers. So originally, because we didn't implement certain things in the background, when the 30-day period came up, a number of people's cards bounced because we stored the card on file, right? It's all automatic. Um, and when that happened, literally, people were emailing us saying, I'm so sorry, take my money, take my money, take my money. People felt genuinely bad when their card didn't pay the balance. We then implemented some different things in the background, and that hasn't happened since. We've completely eliminated that problem. But initially, it was just so interesting to watch people. They nearly felt like they had wronged us, and I think that's really the deep psychology of the system, the gift. They felt that they had thrown a gift horse in the mouth, or like kicked a gift horse in the mouth. Pardon the pun. So that happened, and basically, it's actually worth pointing out. You say there, Alex, more people kept the product at time of recording. Right, there's about 140 trials, whatever. Zero have returned and not paid. Zero. So it's been a
Zero.
100% success rate. 100%.
Yep. And even those cards that originally bounced in the first launch of this, there was only what, two or three people, how many payments like
So out of the cards that bounced, let's say there was 10, right? Nine of them were paid within 24 hours and one was paid within a week. So
yep.
literally that
Yep.
I would call that a complete success.
Yep.
And it
I
hasn't
think
happened since. Like it hasn't happened in months.
yeah. And not only that, once we switched over this new way of selling, we didn't just see higher conversions, we saw better customers, which oh, this is the exciting part, which I'll get into. Um, the ones who tried the product chose to keep it. And then they started tagging us, referring friends, and getting their friends to buy.
Mm.
So we kind of realized like this wasn't just a way to sell, it was a way to build real trust, which in 2025 now, like it's all about authenticity, transparency, and that's what people want. Sometimes it's not, you don't have to have the most polished video, the most polished whatever. If you've got a good product, um, you know, people just want transparency and authenticity around things, which is where real trust is built and real brand loyalty is built and equity. Which kind of brings us on to this next phase, which is phase two. Do you want to you talk for his slide
Yeah,
here?
absolutely, Alex. So it's very much, it's not just about like just giving the product out, right? Obviously, we've a great product, but it's about building that customer relationship, because the very first thing the customer does is they choose to give it a try, and that brings them to the use it phase, right? So we deliver wow moments as part of that, right? So a wow moment could be just a nice email following up, hey, did you get the product? A wow moment could be a premium unboxing. What they're doing is they're building that relationship, they're building that trust, as Alex mentioned, right? And those product experiences, like, they create belief, right? It's not our promises that are doing it, it's the experience, right, of using it, right? Um, and then really what happens is, like, yeah, like as Alex says there, or as I you can see there, so the unboxing moment, like premium packaging, simple instructions, onboarding emails, SMS, hero moments, all this is just adding fuel in the tank of the customer. And it's really it's fuel that and a passion that ultimately later on they'll want to return.
Hmm. Yeah, totally. And with Apex, we did a number of different things in that 30-day window to show that we were going above and beyond, and show customers that we actually gave a damn. Because I mean, how many times have you bought a product and you buy the products and then you never hear from the brand again? Like the customer journey just seems to end at the checkout,
Yeah,
whereas
almost
we're
all.
saying almost like it just starts at the checkout. Um, so there's many different things you can do in between that 30-day window, but we're not trying to be pushy with people. We're just trying to give them the best experience, and that goes down to even just like the boxing of the product. Like when we first started selling physical products on Amazon back in 2017, we didn't even consider this. We had a good product that was profitable. We just shoved it in a cardboard box or a poly bag, and it got delivered to the customer. That was that. End of story.
There's no more thought.
Now we have gone through every fine detail with this product of like even just how the product is packaged, how does it arrive at the customer's house, how do they actually go through and unbox it, what are they going to be feeling at different stages, and every single one of these touch points adds to that trust flywheel.
Mm.
And this is kind of like where most people go wrong, because you are literally ignoring the most profitable part of the customer journey. And like we just said before, how many times have you ever bought something, loved it, and then you've never heard from the brand again? Probably most of the time. Most brands will stop when the sale is made. Most of them. There's definitely some good brands out there that I get some emails in my inbox and communication after. I'm like, God damn, that's good. And it makes me want to stay in touch with them, makes me want to buy more of their products,
Makes you want to
makes me want
refer
to
their
learn more.
product.
Yeah, and tell other people about what the hell has just happened because it's so unusual. But trust doesn't just peak at the checkout. For us, it just starts there, right? So if you are just if your brand or products right now is based on this, you are literally leaving easy money on the table and
Alex,
actual
I, I
everything.
I think it's worth adding in there, right? Like, so with this process, right, what we've developed, there's technically two checkouts, but there's really one. The first checkout, the first yes is saying, I would like to give this product a try. I'd like to use this product, right?
Mm.
The
Yeah.
next checkout is seamless. It's automatic. It's in the background. So did you ever go to buy something and say it's £200, £300, whatever, and you're there and you're ready to click commit and you're just hovering over the buy button? You're like, it's like there's this little bit of pain in you. Just, I'm going to click buy now and the money's going to come out of my account, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, what if, like in this case with our customers, they've already experienced so much value from us, when it comes time for that payment to be taken, which, as I said, is seamless, which is automatic, they're like, they see it come out of their bank really because they don't have to physically do it, but they're like, huh, those guys deserve that. It's
Yeah.
really like, it's like them giving. So it's giving, it's not taking.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
that's a really important point, and it's just worth emphasizing.
Yeah. And then we move on to phase three, which is share it.
Yeah.
So, uh, you guys might have seen this person before. This is Gary Vaynerchuk. He's a very famous serial entrepreneur, and he wrote a book once called Jab Jab Right Hook, Jab 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 Right Hook, and he has this saying that he always repeats, and it basically just means give, 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 then ask. So when it comes to selling, a lot of people will always just be asking for the sale, asking for the sale, asking for the sale. Whereas, like Pete was saying before about the law of reciprocity, um, giving up front in exponential proportion compared to how much you're asking will always pay off in the long run. You almost don't even need to ask for the sale. Like, I mean, it can be so subtle if you give so much. People feel the need to give back.
Mm.
So this is kind of something else we've kept in mind. Um, there is a spelling mistake in there. I'm sorry about that. So people have seen it, they've used it, and now they want to share it. So this is like sharing it with friends, their audience, or their community. And this is the where the real trust becomes growth for your brand. And this is when you what happens when you give first. We these are just a couple of screenshots of uh, people who have received our product, shared it with their friends, and just left like amazing feedback. Best goggles I've used so far. Best goggles I've ever rode with. What was that on there? Other riders ditching their old goggles for ours. Try that pair of goggles. Unreal best goggles I've ever rode with. Amazing product, can't wait to use them. Unreal service. They just keep going.
I think people are nearly surprised that it came in the post. I think they thought it was probably like
Yeah.
we were lying.
Well, I think they're more surprised as well because if they've already got a good goggle, so say if you're in a market and you've got, I don't know, top contenders, people are almost like skeptical in a way, like, let's see if this new little brand can prove them wrong. Let's see if they're as good as they say they are. Because if we're sat behind our product, if we believe in our product so much, we literally want to shout from the rooftops of how good it is. But it's hard for other people to believe that until they actually experience it. So until that point, they're just like, well, let's give them a chance. Let's see if let's see if they can do this. And I think they're almost quietly blown away by how good the product is once they've tried them. And in the back of their mind, subconsciously, they're comparing them to what they previously had, which is amazing. So we've had loads of reviews. These are just a handful of them. And this is just how powerful things are and how powerful it was for the customers who had our experience. People will naturally want to give back. Like Peter said, it's human psychology. But most brands never earn this level of trust because they try to take before they give. This is just the whole thing of just asking for the sale all the time. But Trojan selling flips this whole thing on its head. We give first, and that act of trust creates loyalty, belief, and desire to give back. So the product sells itself. And then the wow moments created UGC, user generated content. So if you go on our Instagram page, Apex Series Goggles, as that's what it is right now, um, you will see tons of content on there that is from other people, from users of the product. It's not just us using the product all the time. It is content that our users have created for us and shared and collaborated with us on. So it's free content for us. It's more marketing. It's just fueling this flywheel. And then we kind of realized that we were sitting on this army of people who loved our product, but they hadn't yet been given an invite to help us grow or like to build with us. So then we thought, well, what about if we invited these people who had already bought our products and they're loving the experience and the product. What about if we invited them to grow with us? What if we let our believers become our biggest growth channel? Because people are already talking about your products and using them. What if we just gave them tools and this is the key part and the reward so they could do it on purpose?
Mhm.
And this is kind of where we turn the customer into collaborators. And I will pass this over to you now, Peter, and we can talk a little bit about this.
Absolutely, Alex. Well, look, customers that have had a great experience are so powerful in any brand's growth strategy. But as Alex mentioned, they're often overlooked. So, yeah, overlooked stage in most funnels and the most profitable in ours, right? So we don't stop after the customer sees it. We don't stop after the customer uses the product. We don't even stop when they share it. We keep giving them more and more tools. We keep rewarding them for doing that. But what we've done is we've created a loop of belief, of loyalty, of advocacy. Um, and these people wanted to promote our product. I was just thinking, Alex, when you were talking, people were emailing saying, you know what, I just want to help you guys grow. I just want to help share this product. It's so good. And I'm like, hey, we want you to do that, but we want to reward you for doing that. Like, don't be
Hmm.
feeling like you have to do this for nothing. Like, but they wanted
Yeah.
to. And that's so powerful, right? So simple, automated fun, right?
Yep. I mean, it's a simple process. Once this system is built, it's automated and it's fun. Like it's never going back to one of them first slides. There isn't any persuasion or selling or pushy tactics. There's nothing of that in here.
No.
Um, and we recruit our own customers at Apex. So between the period of them trying the product, and then basically telling us they liked it and loved it, wanted to keep it, we invite them to become a collaborator. which meant they could. I mean, in our case, we gave them a unique code, a unique link, which they then shared with their audience. So then any sale that was made through their unique link, they would get a commission, like a
Mm,
healthy commission as well. It wasn't just like some lame bit of money. I think we gave away a decent percentage to their audience. I think they got 10% code for their audience, which is a fair chunk.
mhm,
And they also got a fair chunk for commission as well per sale. And what we were finding was with these influencers that they only had small audiences of people. Like they didn't have millions of followers or anything. They had like very small, closed communities of people who like had a really good connection with them. So it's so much more powerful for these people to say how much they loved a product they were using than me having to convince them why they should buy our product.
mhm,
It's ridiculous. But here again, we use this with a code and commission, but you could, if you had access to it, you could create store credits. But we just did unique codes and commissions. But what this does is it makes people feel part of something, which is a whole part of building a brand, right? It's not just transactional based, which is what we would do when we first started selling physical products on Amazon all that time back then. We weren't building a brand, a sellable asset. We were building this money making machine that once we turned it off and stopped fueling it, it would just stop. And it wasn't really worth anything. It wasn't a sellable asset, which is a big thing in this as well. If you are somebody who's looking to build a brand and build something that is true value, this is just fueling that as well. This is
mhm.
just creating even more firepower to that. And yeah, when people believe, they want to share. It's not just a funnel. This is what we've coined like a flywheel. So um, you give the product to them, you wow them, you earn their trust, they invite their friends, and then the flywheel just carries on and on and on. Give trust, they believe in it, they share it. Then you have more warm customers, you build trust, and this just keeps going and going and going and going. Like this,
Compound.
it'll start small, and then the power of compounding will keep this thing growing, and it almost fuels itself. So we've talked about all this method, but what about if we just hammer the point home even more by showing you the numbers behind all this? This is mind-blowing stuff. I actually am so happy we put this together.
Absolutely.
Because this calculator that Peter has created will show you like even if we lowball the numbers, just how much of an impact this will have on your physical products business and brand. So how do I now share your screen, Peter? Because the calculator's on your side.
See, I
Do I
think,
stop sharing?
yeah, you
Oh, there we
can,
go.
yeah. All right.
Peter controller.
I think I have it now, Alex. Okay, so this is the Trojan Selling Forecast
I can't
calculator.
see the screen.
Okay, now. All right, let's stop.
There we go. I can
Yeah.
see a screen
All
now.
right, all right,
Cool.
all right. So this is the calculator, right? So the idea of this is that you put in your business information here. So this would be very applicable to people that already have traffic, that already have ad spend, conversion data, and so forth, right? But let's say, for example, you have 5,000 monthly visitors, right? You spend £900 a month on ads. You have a conversion rate of 1.46%, which is, it can be average, a bit low, but that's what it is. A cost per sale of £12.33, right?
But you
Now,
also, just before you jump ahead, you don't need to be spending money on ads for this to
no,
work
no.
at all. We've just got this there for people who have ads and they want to incorporate that into the numbers to get a true representation. And you will get access to this calculator at the end as well, by the way.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think first thing we can safely say is that when you implement this system, because we're making such a trust-based offer, you will see an increase in conversion rate, right? So I've said here that we see an 80% increase in conversion rate, which basically brings our conversion up to 2.63%. I believe that would be very, very doable. Which will reduce our cost per sale from £12.33 to 6.85, right? Just by using the TSM method, right? Here we can see you have your product's cost of manufacture and fulfillment. So that is every single cost that you need to get your product to the customer organically, because you've already covered your ad spend here, right? And this is the item sales price. Another thing worth bearing in mind is you can increase the item sales price when implementing this system. And the reason for that is simple. you are giving at the beginning, you are giving the experience, which means you can charge higher on the back end. We were able to increase the price of our goggles by operating under TSM. So I've selected here 20% increase in item sales price. That could be 10% or that could be zero, but you can increase the price, so it's worth doing, right? Trial deposit is set at 10% there. I'm going to set it at, let me see, let's try to get it down to around, yeah, around 9%. So £10, right? So the idea of the trial deposit is it has to be logical. So in this case, we call it shipping and handling, right? So it basically does cover our shipping, but when a product goes out on trial, we are still negative until they pay the balance at the final checkout, okay? Which again happens automatically in the background. Now, you can see here, based on those changes, those numbers, you have an increase in sales. So sales here is 73. Sales here, we call them trial signups, right, on this calculator, 131. It's also worth bearing in mind, people can still choose to buy your product outright. We seen an increase in people buying our product outright when we implemented this system as well, and that's worth bearing in mind. But this calculator just covers trials just for simplicity. So I've entered here trial success rate at 80%, right? Now, if I'm to be completely honest with you, our trial success rate was 100%, right? But let's just say 90%, right? And be honest with you guys, I don't feel this is unrealistic because if you're getting lower numbers than 90%, you need to go back to the drawing board and look at your product because there's something fundamentally wrong that people are giving it back, especially after you've delivered a superior product, a premium experience with numerous wow moments in the use it period. But let's just say 90% is the trial success rate, right? Which means out of 131 trials, 118 pay in full and all done, all good, right? Now, this is the revenue from the deposits. This is what's collected after the trials. This is the total revenue. So straight away, you can see here, total revenue before we implemented TSM is £6,600, basically. The total revenue after TSM is just touching 13,000 almost, right? If we scroll down here, we can see here, look, the net profit per unit is actually increased because the same ad spend is going further with the trial because the offer is converting better, right? The revenue per website visitor has gone from 131 to 257. The profit per website visitor has gone from 55p to £1.35. And the ACOS 13.7 to 7%. Okay. Extra customers paid in full is 45. And our net profit, well, our additional revenue is £6,294. Our total new profit for this month, for this period, with the same traffic, same ad spend, is £3,981, 31 pence. You can see here the increases, but really what you can do with this is you can just plug your numbers into this and you can set it on what you feel is comfortable. It's worth bearing in mind. If we adjust this, let's say 70% trial success rate, let's just try and lowball it here. We're still breaking even. Let's bring it down to 65. We're still breaking even. Let's go down to 60. Yeah, 60 basically.
But also, like you said, if 40% of people are sending your product back in that period, there's a bigger problem than our
Far bigger. This
and
won't
this
solve.
trial. Yeah, it's almost just showing you straight away there's a problem with your product somewhere. So it should not be that low. You
No.
should be seeing 85 upwards to 99, 100% of trial success rate, I would imagine.
And I really think what it comes down to is premium product, quality product, and
Yep.
amazing customer experience. If you do that, you won't have a problem with returns. You won't have it.
Nope.
It won't happen.
Well, just so this is I love this stuff. Let's show people quickly. So this is just in 1 month, right? This is 1 month of using this calculator and this method. Show people the next sheet on what happens when we compound this over time.
Yeah.
Because if you remember back to our slides before, we talked about customers becoming advocates and basically an army for your brand, and them doing the selling for you, which is what this whole thing is built on, this flywheel effects.
Mhm.
So we haven't changed any of the numbers from that calculator, but this is just what will happen theoretically over time. You walk people through this because you're the genius behind this.
Absolutely, Alex. Absolutely, Alex. So what this here is, you can see the entire Trojan selling method is built on a flywheel. So you see it, use it, share it. Share it leads you right back to see it. Okay. We have seen our customers promote our product. We are basically entirely organic, right? And if we just lowball this and say 10% of customers will refer our product, and there will be two cycles, which means out of the customers get referred, just another cycle will refer it again. That can literally go on further, but we've just said two. You can see how this thing can compound over time, right? To more and more customers as your product reaches more and more people, right? But let's just go completely low ball. Let's go 2% and let's go with one cycle, right? So if only 2% of your customers refer your product and they only refer it once, you'll still have 36 new customers at the end of 12 months that have seen your product. But again, this is super, super, super low.
Yeah, we want to just lowball these numbers just to show you that like worst case scenario, what would happen once you implement this, and it it's so cool. It's so damn cool. And we're going to give this calculator as well. We will leave a link below the video where you can go and grab it. So you can start plugging in the numbers to your business and your products. There's a couple more slides left here. Let me just reshare my screen if you can see this. Oh, that's not what I want. There we go. So yeah. So we're built on trust, honesty, authenticity. This is the first time with Apex that we've used this method. This is where it was all built from. But right now we want to help 5 to 10 business product owners to build with us. And again, I'm not about to try and sell you anything. We're actually just looking for 5 to 10 product-based businesses owners who want to implement this method over the next 30 days. Okay. So if you've got a premium physical product and you're ready to test this risk-free in your own business, we want to work with you directly in the next month or so to help you build this method into your brand, all the onboarding flows that we have, depending on what you want to implement. We've got email systems, SMS systems, everything that basically creates this customer experience that just blows their socks off. The UGC loop and the referral system as well. This is a beta rollout, and don't know when you'll be watching this, but right now it's completely free. We don't have a course or an upsell or anything like that. We simply want to help people in return to start collecting some data, some results of just how the system is going to be working for different physical product brand owners. So there will be links below this video to access the calculator, the implementation guide, and the application form. So yeah, we got anything else to add to that, Peter?
Not at all, Alex, apart from I think just trust the data, folks. The data doesn't
Good stuff.
lie.
Yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and we will see you in the next video.
All right. Take care, folks. Bye.